Dan Orlovsky, former NFL quarterback, was asked what Kirk Cousins getting traded to the Browns would mean for the Browns.
I think the things that make sense to me are Kirk Cousins eventually will be with the Browns, and Aaron Rodgers is already going to the Steelers. I think with the Browns, if you look at it and you go, okay, well, Kenny Pickett, if Kirk Cousins becomes their starting quarterback and they add a player like Travis Hunter, if I were the Browns, I would take Travis Hunter at 2. If I was dead set on not taking a quarterback and I was getting Cousins, I got a chance now because this is still a talented roster, and Stefanski is still a very good coach. Travis Hunter would play wide receiver for me, but I think Kirk Cousins never seemed settled last year. We called his games on Monday Night Football. He never seemed comfortable. It never seemed like the right offensive fit, although I thought it would be perfect. Zach Robinson, the offensive coordinator in Atlanta, he didn't run the similar stuff that Kirk was, accustomed to. And if we're going to talk about like Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams in the play action and how Caleb hasn't done any play action, so that's going to take time. Kirk's only done play action. And so it didn't mesh for him in Atlanta because they just didn't run it. And so I think if Cleveland gets Kirk Cousins and drafts Travis Hunter at 2, I think they immediately become a competitive football team. And I would bank on that being the case.
Let's welcome in Tim Bielik from the Plain Dealer, cleveland.com. And I agree with most of what Dan Orlovsky said. I would take it a step further and say, go get a running back, and then you really make it interesting. Go get a running back at 33.
Yeah, I mean, I look at this draft, and I'm going to talk about running backs tomorrow as I go through my position rankings. But I feel like for the Browns in this draft, I mean, starting with the running backs, you have to get one no matter what, maybe even 2, because you really have nothing at the position. And specifically going to Kirk Cousins, I should say outside Jerome Ford. But going back to Kirk Cousins, with obviously Russell Wilson being off the board, questions about whether the Browns are going to take Shedeur Sanders second overall or what they're going to do with that number 2 pick. I think it definitely behoves them to at least look at the Kirk Cousins thing and maybe just connecting the dots of just things that haven't happened. We haven't heard anything about them possibly really going for Carson Wentz more than, Mary Kay Cabot's report about the mutual interest with Wentz and the Browns, but nothing's happened there. I mean, 2 and 2 just says, Kirk Cousins may be an option for the Browns in that situation. I think at least getting a veteran like Cousins, even though he may be a bridge quarterback, there's not too many options out there, and he may be the best you can get. It just comes down to negotiating value between the Browns and the Falcons and reuniting him with Kevin Stefanski in an offense he's more familiar with. I think that'd be a good thing for Kirk Cousins, especially considering he's in the second year off the torn Achilles, since we always know what those Achilles injuries, you're better year 2 than you are year 1.
Yeah, and the other thing that we know from the Falcons beat reporters we've had on the show, they didn't tailor the offense to Kirk Cousins, so that's something else to keep in mind.